everybody. Welcome back. My name is Luis Guzman, and as you can see, Mark Lambert is not here today. I'm flying solo. What we're going to talk about today is instability and vulnerability in changing markets. Right. Just open up the news page, right? The proverbial news page or your phone, right? You look at your phone. Oh, hey, another entity is going belly up. Another company is doing layoffs, and another meat company got uh, breached, or a fuel company got breached, and all of these things are happening. And what does that tell me about my environment, about the markets? Well, it just tells me there's going to be more instability happening because of the instability that's currently happening. So there could potentially be a few more attacks, and being able to actually go to um, a Google search, go to a Bing search, and then actually see what cyber events are going to be affecting everyday people's lives, right? Because in a previous show, we talked about AI and how that's happening, how that's evolving threats, how that's moving things faster. It's not going to take over, but it's definitely going to be helping the human get to that next level. Now, an instability, it just means that it can't stand on its own, right? It's a little shaky. Um, but the vulnerabilities inside of our market right now for our financial markets um, is a very palpable, uh, you know, a measurable environment today. And the way that affects AppSec and the way that affects infrastructures and applications is now we're going to be looking at potentially more breaches like the ones that happened, 2008, 2009, 2010, right? We see a lot of these big companies are too big to fail, and yet they still do. And then we saw some subsequent, really big attacks, right? What happened with the big retailer with the Target on their logo, and having one of the big retailers that is a big box store that had issues happening as well, having issues where the thermostat inside of an aquarium caused an issue in a casino, right there. All of these different vulnerabilities that are being found because one, people are now scrambling to try to make ends meet, not just in the US, around the world. Then we also have the capabilities of being able to travel the world on Cyber, Monday. I can go all over the place. I can buy a leather bag from Greece, and I could buy, sneakers from Singapore, a shirt from Taiwan, and all of it gets to my house. So we're all very tied together. We know this from pandemic as well. Now, the vulnerabilities are being seen not just in the financial market, right? We're now seeing it in our food supply chain. We're seeing it, right? Like, let's talk about coffee. Coffee 3 years ago, the one that I drink is 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹liche. It's in a big yellow bag, and it was at my local retailer for $5.48, right? A whole bag for a week. That went up to $8.86 recently, and I think it's back down to like $7.20, right? So it went. I don't think it'll ever go back to the $5 and some change ever again, because now the market is accepting of all of these changes. And you're saying, well, you know what? Eggs are going to be very expensive, right? Tell me you're rich without telling me you're rich. You got a 36 count box of eggs. And that's happening all inside of the instability and vulnerability of the changing markets. Well, what does that do for application security and for infrastructure security? Well, infrastructure security is going to have to be a lot more lean, a lot more mean than it used to be. So a part like a fan, nobody's going to want to pay $75 for a fan when they can go to a virtual instance and pay $75 for the full instance that they were just going to pay for the replacement part of the fan. So a lot of these infrastructures that were there before, they're now going to say, ooh, metal is actually going to get very expensive. So let's think about a different a different play, right? I read recently that there was a play away from the cloud back into infrastructure. And I think that's very dangerous because only a few companies can actually do that and succeed. I'm not saying that they can't, right? Model Ford, the Model T for Ford was ahead of its time, but at the same time, it was behind. We have the horse and buggy, understanding you could still get to places with some very rudimentary technology. Well, now we're talking about electricity, we're talking about aluminum, we're talking about gold and copper and all of these natural occurring elements that build our physical environment, right? The plastic that makes these, the aluminum that makes my headphones and my microphone, and all of this coming together. And the financial markets, the supply chain markets, all of them are going to be components of this. And I think in application security, knowing that everything's decentralized, knowing that you could be sharing a repo that's decentralized from where the actual application lives, and then understanding that that repo is shared now by 3 or 4 other applications. Now you're saying, oh, if I just attack that repo, I could take down 4 apps at once. Right. So little things like that is going to be popping up, right? Utilizing the AI as a helper. Right? I talked about that in a previous show, and being able to attack the instability of the market itself, understanding how markets fluctuate. Right? We know that when a certain billionaire talks about certain things inside of the Twitter sphere, prices go up and down. Something like that is very interesting, because what if AI built a prompt that could then utilize a deep fake voice impersonator to be able to say, hey, I am this particular billionaire and I am saying these things, and it was actually just a deep fake, utilizing AI to create the prompt to be able to say something, to create content, right? So the instability of the market is very interesting to me. I'm watching it very closely. Hopefully you are too. Hopefully you're paying attention to what we're doing in AppSecOps and how it pertains to not just the organizational environment, but potentially inside of your environment as well, like when you're doing Amazon or you're in Google Cloud or wherever you're at, because ultimately we're all connected. All right. I hope that helps. I hope you guys have a bunch of things that you can think about now and talk about over coffee. And if you don't, you'll come back and join us next time. Mark will be here. Thank you so much. Again, this is Luis Guzman. We'll talk to you later.
Hi, everyone. Let's Talk AppSecOps is going on the road. We're going to be live from RSA 2023, so if you can't make it, join us virtually. We'll do an expo tour, we'll do a highlight reel, we're going to do some great interviews with folks talking about the software security practices. We're going to see what's new. If you can come, check it out, track me down, let's have a quick chat. Would love to get you on camera. Take care, enjoy the next episode.